Hey, Susan here, coming to you on an auspicious day, September 11th. It's hard to believe that it's been so long ago that we experienced such a tragedy for this country. And we've come so far, and yet not much has changed that caused such a tragedy for us. And I just hope that the universe can help us through this and bring peace and understanding. And forgiveness to people, through people. So tonight, for the gift of stillness, I really want to focus on patience, loving patience, patience and kindness. And there's all different kinds of ways that we experience frustration and impatience, and it can be simple things. It can be, just a bad mood. It can be something going wrong at work or at the house, or just with the internet, or simple things sometimes. And it can just really affect you emotionally, and the emotions then affect you physically and spiritually, and it becomes difficult sometimes to look beyond it and try to find your way to not a control, but an inner peace and an inner harmony, so that you can just let go of that negativity and that impatience. And there's lots of ways that you can begin to work on things like that. You can try meditation, if you're not already using meditation as part of your daily practice or your weekly practice. You can, hi Julie, you can work with crystals, you can work with essential oils, and you can try to really do an inner focus and make yourself vulnerable to what it is that triggers you, what it is. Sometimes it can be the most actual mundane thing that you can't believe will just set you off. Sometimes you can be very forgiving towards others, but not towards yourself. I know I have that problem sometimes. I can be very compassionate and loving and giving and kind towards others, but not necessarily towards myself. And that's really something that I'm working on personally in my own meditative practice, and with crystals and with essential oils also. So again, the focus tonight is patience, and I do have a few crystals that I wanted to talk about that can help you with patience. And I'll show you a couple here. This is howlite. This is a very beautiful stone or crystal. Some people wear this on a bracelet, and it's, small beads. It's really beautiful. Now, howlite is very calming, which is really good if you have patience problems. It's also good for insomnia. I gave a howlite bracelet that has little lava beads in it to a friend who's dealing with insomnia problems, and she can put essential oils on those lava beads. And what you can also do is, if you have stones like this, you can put these under your pillow at night when you go to sleep, or when you're trying to go to sleep, and this will help you with insomnia issues. So that, again, this is howlite. And this is a small one that I have, but this is, I'm pronouncing it my way, chrysoprase. Now, this one works to help in restore inner balance into your body. It works on your heart chakra, okay? I actually have several of these stones, and sometimes I slip one into my bra. The left side, over the heart. And if you meditate, you do want to put this either somewhere in between your breast area or over your heart, wherever it balances well. But again, this is chrysoprase. I may not be pronouncing it correctly, but I do keep several of these around the house. It's a very pretty green, and again, this is for your heart chakra. It's really good to help restore inner balance, which helps with frustration and impatience. And then last but not least, this one is called argonite. This is a beauty, okay? It's really something very different. I don't know if you can really get a good look at it here on the camera, but argonite brings comfort to you in times of stress. Okay, now when you're working with crystals, if you are right-hand dominant, what you want to do is you want to hold the crystal in your left hand. And this is something that you also want to do if you're shopping for crystals. You really want to try to hold that crystal in your left hand, because your left hand, not being the dominant hand, okay, your left hand is where you will receive the energy from the crystal. And sometimes you'll just feel a tingling sensation. Sometimes you really feel a pulsating sensation. I have a particular stone that I really love. It's, can't think of the name of it right now. It's a beautiful bluish green stone. Hey, Robin. And when I hold that stone in my hand, I can feel the sensation and the tingling all the way from my hand down to my elbow. And the stone actually gets warmed, almost hot, because I'm pulling the energy from that stone. And then if you want to feel the difference, and then you move that stone to your right hand, your dominant hand in this case, or my dominant hand in this case, it's a totally different sensation. There's no tingling, no any kind of energetic, feeling in the hand, and the crystal becomes cool. And this is because in this hand, I'm no longer absorbing the energy, I am releasing the energy of the stone. Hi, Gina. So that's how you can tell if you are actually feeling anything from that particular crystal or stone. And that's how you want to shop for a crystal or a stone. You want to hold that stone in your non-dominant hand and see if you're feeling a sensation. And don't hesitate to try like as many stones or crystals of a particular type that you're attracted to, or you're feeling that that's what you're looking for. Sometimes you will feel an energy from one and not the other, like these two howlites. Sometimes I will feel an energy from it, or maybe not. And again, stones like these, crystals like these, do need to have their energy restored, either in the moonlight, or if you place them on selenite, satin spar, a slab, or another stone of that type. They will absorb the energy and they will be cleansed, and then perhaps then you will feel the energy again. Sometimes if you're using a stone or a crystal a lot, you will basically absorb the energy from that stone to the point where it needs to be restored and revived again. And that's when you use either the moonlight or the satin spar to restore it. Hi, Rhonda. So again, howlite, argonite. This is a real beauty. And I'm sorry that this one is so little, but this is chrysoprase. And these are all good crystals and stones to use to help you with patience, which is our focus tonight. And then if you're into essential oils, 2 very good oils that I would recommend for you to help with patience and calming. Lavender. Lavender is just like your all-purpose, multi-purpose essential oil. And chamomile. Chamomile tea is also good to calm you. But for an essential oil, you would want to use chamomile. And you can either put a drop on your head, your wrists, your temples, back of the neck, and utilize that topically, or you can diffuse as well. Lavender and chamomile make a very nice diffuser fragrance. And you just inhale it that way, or topically. So as I mentioned at the beginning, it's sort of an auspicious day, being 9/11, and I'm trying really hard not to let that whole psychological thing of 9/11 and what happened here in New York and in DC and in Pennsylvania, I think it was, be an emotional, negative emotional situation for me and for those that I know and love. So I'm hoping that with patience, with love, and with the strength of the universe, that people can move beyond what happened then, and that we can work to restore the balance in the universe and the balance within ourselves. It seems as if so much time has gone by, and yet in some ways not much has changed in that part of the tragedy and what brought that about. And I just hope that we can find peace, and that the world can find peace. So let's begin our practice. And again, we're going to be focusing on patience, and rather than in a typical yin practice, what we do is we hold a pose for anywhere from 3 to maybe 5 minutes. Tonight what we're going to be doing is we're going to be beginning with about a 1 minute pose, and then we're going to work our way up to about 6 minutes. So it's a little bit different tonight, and the concept of the yin practice is still the same. You come into the pose, you find your edge. That may take you 30, 40 seconds. That may even take you a minute to find the right place for your pose. And then you will be in stillness, as much stillness as you possibly can be, sort of meditative, and then we will stay in that pose. Again, we're going to work our way up from about a minute to about 6 minutes in the variety of poses that we're doing tonight. So, let's get started. And while we're doing this, what I'd like you to do is, as we progressively work our way up from a minute to about 6 or 7 minutes in our poses, is I'd like you to concentrate a little bit on your patience level as we work through this. So we're going to start in child's pose. We won't be here too long. We're going to just progress. So I'm going to move back to my mat. And again, if you have a pillow or bolsters or blocks, really the main thing that we probably will need tonight is one of those for legs up the wall, which is going to be our longest pose tonight. But you're welcome to use any of these for the poses, because yin is all about propping if you need it to find your edge, which enables you to stay in that pose for the duration. Okay, so child's pose. Your legs are mat width apart, your toes are touching in the back, and you're going to sit on your heels. Now here's where, if you have props, because I don't know where you are, you could be at home, you could be at the office, you could be in a hotel room. If you have access to a pillow, that's fine. If you have a bolster, fine. Whatever you have. If you have a blanket, you may need to adjust back here if you're uncomfortable, or if it's difficult for the insteps of your feet, you may also want to use a blanket back there. But what we're going to do is we're going to come forward. Your third eye is on the mat, or a bolster, or a pillow. And we're only going to be here for a minute. So you may not need too much propping for this. Carefully and gently bring yourself up onto your knees and all fours. And let's do a couple of cat-cows. So for those of you who may not be familiar, cow is a nice inhale, keeping your shoulders back. You have a nice line here. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. You inhale. Press your navel towards the floor. And then exhale like a cat. Navel towards the ceiling. Do a few of those at your own pace. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. It's a great lubricator for the spine. And then come back to neutral. And then come down on your belly and rest your head on your hands. Once again, carefully bring yourself up to all fours. Sit back on your heels. And then come into easy seat. When you are when you're in a position in yin and you're holding your pose for 3 to 5 minutes, you're working your deep tissues. So you're working your fascia, you're working your ligaments, your tendons, the joints. This is not so much about the muscles like yang yoga. And after you come out of the pose, we go into what is called a rebound pose, where you either will lie on your back or lie on your belly and just rest for a moment or two. And it's actually a very vulnerable place to be for your body, because you have just come out of this pose for where you've been for 3 to 5 minutes, and all of a sudden your body is in a state of tenderness and vulnerability. And you sometimes will feel a little bit of pressure or not pain, but you will feel a sensation in your body where you're kind of, I'm not even sure the word for it, but what it is, it's your body releasing that tension from where you just were in the yin pose. And when you're in that rebound position, the blockages that you were holding the energy now is flowing through there again. So that's why you feel that vulnerability, and sometimes you feel that little bit of awkward sensation in your body. But that's actually your body releasing energy and taking care of itself. So don't think of it as, oh, I did something wrong, or what's going on, this doesn't feel right. That's actually a very good sensation for your body, because the energy now is flowing through all of those places where it was blocked while you were holding that pose. And that's a good thing, okay? So from here now, we're going to move into butterfly. And butterfly, I'm sitting sideways. You can still stay on your mat long ways. Butterfly is the soles of your feet together. Now, you may want to support your knees if you need some support here, if this is uncomfortable for you. Again, the closer you have your feet to your groin area, the more of a stretch you will feel here in your inner thighs. No pain in the knees. I don't want you to have any sensation of pain in the knees. All right? And then we're just going to fold forward. Again, if it's more comfortable for you to have a bolster or a pillow to lean on, that's perfectly fine. We're only going to be here for 2 minutes. And I'm timing it. Gently bring yourself upright. And if you are using a pillow or a bolster, you can push that aside. Straighten your legs. Maybe bounce them a little bit. Slap down the edge of the outside and the inside of your thighs. All the way down your calves. There we go. And now I'm moving to the same way you are. We're just going to come down on our backs in a faux shavasana for about a minute. Bend your knees, having your feet flat on the floor. Windshield wiper. Giving your sacrum a little massage. And then use your hands to bring yourself up to a seated position. And from here we're going to move into dragon. So dragon concentrates on the thighs, your glutes. It's all about lower body. If you have blocks, you may want to use them. You don't need them, but if you have them, you may want to use them. Okay. So, you're going to come up onto your all fours. Bring your right foot forward, knee bent. Make sure that your knee is directly over your ankle. You don't want to be like this, or you don't want to be like that, okay? You want this aligned. Protect your knee. Come up on your toes on the back leg. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. If you want to hold on to your thigh, you can do that, or you can come down onto the floor. If this is too intense for you, drop the knee and uncurl the toe. If your left knee is not on the mat already, you can drop it now. Bring the right leg back to meet the left. So now you're on all fours. Let's do a few cat-cows again. Make sure your shoulders are back. You don't want to be scrunched. Inhale, cow. Navel towards the floor. Exhale, cat. Navel towards the ceiling. Do a few at your own pace. Okay, and bring yourself back to neutral. And now we're going to bring that left leg forward, making sure that the knee is directly over the ankle. Lift that back leg. Come up on your toes. You're going to be here for 3 minutes. And again, if you want to come up, yeah, one side is different than the other sometimes. I have a bad ankle on this side. If you want to come up this way, you're okay to do that. And again, if it's too intense, drop the right knee. Just make sure you keep this knee, the left knee directly over the ankle. If you don't already have that right knee dropped onto the mat, you can drop it down now. Bring your toes down to the mat. And then bring that left leg back, Now you're on all fours again. Do a few more cat-cows. And now come down onto your belly and rest with your head on your folded arms. Make sure you turn your head in the opposite direction that you had it the first time. Okay, work yourself back up, pushing yourself up to all fours. And from here, we're going to work our way into swan, which many of you know as pigeon. So we're going to bring our right leg forward. Knee bent, the calf goes across the mat. The left leg is extended straight behind you. The foot, my blocks are there, you can't see it, but the foot is flat on the floor. The knee is directly on the mat. You don't want it over to the side, you want it directly on the mat. If your leg is not going directly across the width of the mat, that's okay. Whatever's comfortable for you. You want it to be in such a way that you are able to hold this pose for 4 minutes. We're going to do 4 minutes on each side. If you need a bolster or a, let's see, let me take one of these blocks, or a pillow underneath your hip on the right side to give you support. Or if you need a blanket underneath your foot on the left. Again, we're going to be here 4 minutes. So you come down on your elbows. You can relax your head. You can use a block or a pillow to support your head. And I've got the clock. If you're using any props, just move those to the side. Gently bring your right leg back, straight to meet your left. And come down, flatten your belly. Arm down by your side, palms up. Head turned to the right. Slowly bring yourself back up to all fours. And now we'll bring that left leg forward, knee bent. Right leg goes out behind you straight, knee flat on the mat. Your foot is flat on the mat. And if you need to use a block here or a pillow to help support you, if that makes you feel more comfortable, yet keeps you in the edge for your pose. If you want a block to support your head, lower yourself down on your elbows. And I've got the timer going. you're using bolsters or blocks, just move those to the side. Bring your left leg back long to meet your right. Down in your belly. Arms by your side, palms up. And have your head turned to the left. Carefully bring yourself up onto your elbows. We're moving right into Sphinx. There's a great back bend here. Actually, why don't you just sort of move your sacrum back and forth before we get into this. Okay, so now you have your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Your palms are flat on your mat. You want to relax your glutes. You're using the bones in your arms to support you. Okay, you're not using your muscles here. You're using the bones. You can relax your head. You can use a block or a pillow. Relax the glutes. You almost want to feel your shoulder blades coming together in the back. If you're using a block to support your head, just move that to the side. Fold your arms and rest your head. Once again, bring yourself up onto your elbows and to your side, and then we're going to roll on over onto our backs. We're going to move into our last patience pose tonight. We're going to be here for about 6 minutes. If you have a block would be ideal for this. Pillow's okay, or a bolster. We're going to do legs up the wall. So bend your knees, feet flat on the floor, and then lift your sacrum. And if you have a block, put that block underneath there, just by your sacrum. Can you see the alignment? And one leg up, then the other. Your arms are down by your side, palms down. We're going to be here for 6 minutes. Oh. Why is it muting? Sorry. Bring the left leg back down to the mat, keeping the knee bent. Then the right. Lift your sacrum and bring away either the pillow or the block or the bolster, whatever you were using. And then keeping your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, just rest here for a moment. This is called passive rest. Stretch out your legs. Bring your palms up and find your Shavasana. Take a deep breath and sigh it out. One more time. Nice deep breath. Sigh it out. Begin to bring movement back to your body. Move your fingers, your toes. Bring your awareness back to the space that you're in. Stretch your arms out overhead. Stretch your legs. Again, take a nice deep breath and sigh it out. Bring your knees into your chest. Massage your sacrum. And then roll onto your side, resting your head on your arm. Gently use your hands and your breath to bring yourself up to a seated position. Keep your eyes softly closed. Bring your hands to your heart. Patience. Patience, my friend. They say patience is a virtue. Patience takes practice. I thank you for being here tonight to practice with me, to practice patience, to being open to practicing patience. I wish you peace. I wish you joy. I wish you patience. Namaste. I know I went a little bit over. I thank you for sticking with me tonight. So I'll be back in 2 weeks with another Gift of Stillness. And for those of you in the Claremont area, there is a women's circle that I do every month. It's a wonderful experience. If you're in the area, check it out. I think it's October 11th. It's the first Sunday, I think, of October. I can't remember the date. Check my website, check Facebook or Instagram. The information is there. It's at the Claremont Garden Club. It's a great time. Meditation, oils, crystals, music. It's fabulous. You don't want to miss it. All right. Thanks again for sharing your evening with me, and I will see you next time. Who's here right now? Stephanie. Oh, look at all these people. Shanae and Erica. Thank you. Namaste. Bye.